name is Matt Heitzenreuter. I'm a co-founder and the COO of Orchestrate.io. And today, I want to tell you a story in two parts about transformation in the technology industry over the last decade and how Orchestrate's going to take lessons from that and apply it to databases. So my first story is about interfaces. How many of you guys, do you remember this complexity and pain that we used to carry around all these different devices? Anybody? Did you guys, really? I used to carry a backpack full of this stuff. It was a nightmare. But the worst part was every time I got a new tool, every time I got a new device, I had to learn a new interface, and it was just a nightmare. And trying to get those things to work together was impossible. Of course, I bet you guys can all see where this is going. This all changed when Apple released the iPhone. And what they did is they took all those different devices and they turned it into one beautiful interface. Now, my next story is a story about services. And in this story, do you guys remember when we had to buy servers to build a data center? Yeah, I mean, millions of dollars were spent on these things just to get an app into production. It's crazy if you think about it now, right? I mean, it's completely archaic because today this is a solved problem. Amazon Web Services has made it so easy for us. We just ask Amazon, hey, can you spin up a server and we'll pay you, you guys keep it running. That's exactly what they do, and they make it incredibly easy for us. We don't have these large investments that we had before. What these two stories have in common is a story about complexity to simplicity over the last decade. What Apple did is they took all these different devices and they turned it into a single interface. And what Amazon did is they took all the complexity of running servers and building data centers and the huge expense of it and turned it into a service where we just pay for what we use. But there's one place in the last decade where we haven't seen this trend happen, and that's with databases. Now, I'm sure you're all enthralled right now. I probably have you on the hook. But it used to be really simple with databases. We used to have just a few different choices. But in the last decade, there's been another transformation. And that transformation has led to an explosion of the type of and the number of databases we have. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. Having choice is a good thing, right? Well, it's cool because we have a whole set of tools that we can use to build very cool things, but it comes with a problem. And the problem isn't databases. The problem is the complexity that gets into the applications that we build. Let's take a look at Clout, for example. You guys probably know Clout, but for those of you who don't, it's a relatively simple application, and what it does is it gives us a score or a number of how good we are at tweeting or posting to our Facebook page. It's a measure of our influence in the social networks. But under the hood, look at the complexity of their application. It takes no less than 5 different types of databases to keep this app running. And again, it's not the databases that are the problem. It's that Cloud has to find experts that know how to use each and every single one of these interfaces, and also experts to keep those databases running and to scale it as their business grows. The reality is it's extremely expensive. Businesses are spending up to 25% of their IT budgets on databases, and not one penny of that is separating them from their competitor. It's crazy, really, if you think about it. It's like businesses becoming experts in phone systems that they have to build or building their own email servers. It's a commodity, and we don't need to do it, but they're becoming experts in it unnecessarily. And almost every single business has to do this. It's adding up, too. It's estimated that over $100 billion a year are spent on databases. The simple fact is that the complexity that databases and data infrastructure are causing is it's costing us time, money, and opportunities. And that's exactly what Orchestrate's going to solve. We're going to take multiple types of databases and turn it into a single interface that we run as a service. Now, I realize, thank you. Thank you. It really is big news, I swear. But let's take a look at it because I realize it is abstract. So how does this look for Clout, for example? Well, remember, Cloud had to find all those experts that knew how to use those databases. That's 5 different interfaces that they had to learn and know. And it gets worse. They have to find experts that know how to scale them and grow them and keep them running and make sure they're available 24/7. Well, with Orchestrate, what we would do is simply replace all that. That's right. Developers would only have one interface to deal with. And best of all, we run the database servers for them. That means that businesses can take all those engineering resources they had and let them focus on what makes them special and unique and competitive in the marketplace. I get asked all the time, so why hasn't anybody done this before? Well, if you remember, for the last decade, we have transformed to complexity. We have moved towards complexity. So now is the time for us to rein that all in. We can orchestrate those databases and make it a simple service. That's exactly what Orchestrate's going to do. We're going to get rid of all the painful investments that people would put into their database and database infrastructure. And we're going to turn it into a simple service that businesses can simply pay for what they want to use. But we're going to go further than that. We're going to take all those different interfaces and we're going to turn it into a single, beautiful interface. We're basically going to do for databases what iPhone did for all the different tools that you used to carry around. Now, we're the team to do this, and the reason why we're the team to do this is because over the last 5 years, we've been building a database company, and it wasn't this one. My co-founder and our CEO, Tony Falco, was a founder of a database company called Basho Technologies. In Basho, he grew that company to over 120 people. And that's where he met Ian Plosker and myself. Ian and I were responsible for launching the international operations, and we built a team of 15 people and did millions of dollars of revenue within months. But we left Basho because we believe that databases could be simple. It could be a single, simple interface. And we're not the only ones who believe that. We were able to build a team of some of the best and brightest from some of the best companies out there on the internet. We have a team of 10 incredible engineers and designers. And now we're getting traction. We've raised a $3 million seed round. And now, thank you. That seed round was led by True Ventures, which, for those of you who don't know, they've also invested in other great Portland companies like Puppet Labs and Pi Alumni Urban Airship and Glider. Our community has taken notice as well. Last month, we launched a private beta. Today, we have over 50 active companies using our product. The media has taken notice as well. We've been covered in all things digital, VentureBeat, TechCrunch, and a lot more. But this isn't the exciting news. The exciting news is we're going to be launching our product publicly in the first quarter of next year. So that brings us to me why I'm here today. If you're a developer and you're tired of the complexity of databases and it's getting in your way of being creative, we want to talk to you. And if you're a business and databases are complicated and expensive and you just want to be simplifying this problem, we want to talk to you. We're Orchestrate.io, and we're simplifying databases. Thank you.